welcome to the most controversial country here in Europe. Is it a country? I guess that depends on your perspective and where you're watching this video from. We've been travelling here for the past few days, but there's one city that we have yet to visit here in Kosovo, and that is in the north of the country, the city of Mitrovica, a city where tensions are still running high to this day between ethnic Albanians or Kosovars and Serbs, and what's been dubbed the last divided city here in this part of Europe. A city where two sets of people are separated by one river and either side don't really cross to the other. This is the place we've read so much about before coming here to Kosovo, and a place that's intrigued us for so long. So today we're going to head to the bus station, hop on a bus and go north to the last divided city here in Kosovo.
Welcome to the streets of Pristina. This is what we wanted to show you. It's been labeled the ugliest building in the world. Guess what it is? It's a library. For some reason I thought it's going to be bigger in real life. I love it. Matt is obsessed with bridges. I'm obsessed with weird looking buildings. I would say this one is on top of the list. It could be my favorite one now. I wanted to see it in real life so much.
So believe it or not, this place is actually a marvel of architecture. Obviously it's built in the brutalism style that you see all over former communist countries, but this isn't just a brutalist building. This also has an Ottoman mix, which is I think why the domes are on the top. And then the bars around the building were added after to represent the suppression of Albanian language and Albanian culture during the 90s, after the fall of Yugoslavia, when this was part of Serbia.
You see? And people label it the ugliest building, and it has so much meaning. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely. It's pretty ugly,
I love it. Stop. It's beautiful.
So this is one of the main squares here in Pristina, and next to the ugliest building in the world is this old Serbian Orthodox church, which unfortunately has been pretty mistreated over the past 25-30 years or so. After Kosovo's declaration of independence, and since that time, this place has been vandalised quite a bit and tried to be knocked down on many occasions, but it's been prevented by the university, I think, that it's owned by. And actually I think there was a service there last year, even though it's completely derelict. The first time in about 30 years almost, they actually held a service inside of there. But yeah, it's been left in a real state of disrepair right here in the centre of Pristina. What was obviously a beautiful Serbian Orthodox church is in a real state of ruin. The tensions between Albanians or Kosovars and Serbs are very, very high still to this day. In fact, I think tensions are getting higher again as of recent times, and that's going to be a reoccurring theme in this video, unfortunately. This is an incredibly complicated region, country, whatever you want to call it, and the legal status of Kosovo is still very, very murky, to say the least. But according to people here, this is the youngest country in Europe. So as we head to the bus station, let's tell you a little bit about what happened over the last 35 years or so. After Yugoslavia broke up in the early 90s, conflict spread across the region, including Kosovo, where tensions between Serbs and the Albanian majority erupted into full-scale war in 1998. The brutal conflict lasted until 1999, displacing hundreds of thousands and culminating in a 78-day NATO bombing campaign against Serbia, forcing the Serb army to withdraw. Afterwards, Kosovo came under international administration and, with Western support, declared independence in 2008, something still rejected by Serbia and nearly 90 countries to this day. Despite ongoing mediation, tensions still remain high between the two sides, and efforts to solve the situation still remain unsuccessful. One proposed solution a few years back was actually a controversial land swap, exchanging ethnically Albanian areas of southern Serbia with Serb-populated areas of northern Kosovo. This would have created a new border along ethnic lines. That border would have run along the River Ibar, dividing the town we're heading to today, Mitrovica, further deepening the existing divide. As with everywhere we travel, we're not here to take sides and give our own opinions. We're here to learn and to understand how people here live. And on that note, I think Kosovo could be the most pro-American place we've ever been. Check this out. Stazione autobusowe. Wow.
Hi.
Hello.
Mitrovica. Outside.
Ticket we buy on the bus. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Follow me,
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Okay, let's find the loo before we do that. We didn't really hear what the guy said, but the bus to Mitrovica is somewhere around here, outside. So we just need to find them. And there are buses over there too.
Could be timing.
I know, right?
Found it.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. The old Mitrovica bus drivers don't want to pay the tax on the station, so it's just up the road. Well, such are the distances here in the Balkans. That took us around 40 minutes, 35 kilometers north, and we're here in Mitrovica.
This is Mitrovica, a city of 80,000 people, of which 60,000 are Kosovar Albanians and 20,000 Serbs. There is a river running across the city, splitting two ethnicities in half. And apparently no one ever crosses that bridge. We obviously arrived on the Albanian side, and let's walk through the city towards the bridge.
So if there's anywhere where you still see the tensions here in Kosovo up front, it's here in this town. And walking through this side, and I'm sure it's the same on the other, you see a lot of Albanian and Kosovar flags, as well as statues to local heroes. The bridge between the two sides is closed to car traffic, but it is open to foot passengers. And on the bridge itself, there's apparently a NATO peacekeeping force. I think it's the Italian army that are guarding the bridge, trying to keep the peace between the two sides and keep everything calm. There was word last year that apparently the president of Kosovo wanted to reopen the bridge to road traffic, but this was quickly turned down. And I think it was a real scramble from NATO to tell the Kosovan side to pull back on that. And yeah, to this day, it's still open to foot traffic, but the car traffic is shut off. The biggest mosque in Kosovo is being built here in Mitrovica. And as we're driving into town, you can see a big banner on the top of a hill, a big sign saying UÇK, which is the Kosovo Liberation Army, in English the KLA, and that was apparently in answer to a big church, a big Orthodox church that was built up on the hill that looks over the city on the Serbian side, which you can see from over here.
Sorry, do you speak English?
Yes.
Yes.
A little bit.
A little bit. Is this the Mitrovica center?
Yeah, yes, center.
And were you born here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You lived here your whole life?
In Mitrovica.
Mitrovica. Ah.
I'm retired now. I'm
Retired.
a pension.
Or where did you work?
Ministry of Finance. Work for 25 years. You are from?
I'm from Russia.
I met the budget director of Russia Central Budget a lot of time because we was in the same group, PEMPAL,
Wow.
Public Expenditure Management Achievement per Learning.
How
That group with
interesting.
27 country
Wow.
was, and Kosovo was a member of that part of this group.
I see. We're filming a video about Kosovo
Yeah,
and about Mitrovica, and obviously you have,
the bridge
The
here.
bridge.
Yeah, will divide
because
Mitrovica. It's a political reason.
political. Do you ever go?
Yeah.
You do. You go on the other
Yes,
side.
it's not a problem. For 25 years,
No.
we don't have a problem, but sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult.
It's
It's hard to accept we are citizens here, but it's a political reason. For with political instrument, we can solve this problem. Nothing.
it's like everywhere, isn't it? It's always. It's not the people. It's political. Always,
It's
right?
political, not the people. We are same people living here, and I know almost half of people who live at another side. I know.
So you would say personally, your friends, you wouldn't care.
No problem. I finished the college before the war. In Izvečane, municipality near the Mitrovica, 7 kilometers from here. Yeah,
What is your name?
Ramsey.
Ramzi.
Yeah.
Ramzi, nice to meet you. I'm Julia. It's nice to
Thank
meet you,
you.
Ramzi. Thank you so much for sharing the
Yeah.
information
It's
about
not
the
a
town.
problem.
It's really interesting to come and
Yeah.
see everything for yourself, you know, to share it. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. We read so much about this place, so many different books from both sides really, and in the middle. It feels really odd to be here now. It's one of those times when you read so much about a place, it's almost surreal to be here. And we read a lot that apparently people don't really cross that bridge. Well, we've been standing here for about 20 minutes. I've seen a lot of people going from one side to another. The distances in the Balkans are so small, but the opinions and the tensions are so high.
So this is the River Ibar. This is the river that splits this city in two, and we're currently standing on the Kosovar Albanian side, and over there is the Serb populated side. It's such a small river. I mean, you can literally see people so close. Again, I don't know what I imagined. I felt like when I read about this, that this River Ibar is such a big divide, probably because of what it means. But it's such a small little river. And before the war, actually, people lived on either side. There were Albanians living on the north side of Mitrovica and Serbs living on the south side. But as tensions grew and continued to grow, people fled into their respective communities, and it's often the case that when that happens, opinions become even more entrenched. And all it takes is certain politicians and people to really drum that into people and really wind that up, and then obviously, yeah, nationalism just blows out of the water.
You know what the most scary thing is? When we as people dehumanize someone, it doesn't matter on your ethnicity, color, your beliefs, but
when I guess your nationality comes first, not the fact that you're human. And everyone, we're all humans. You know, that's the most scary part.
When you cross this river, you move into a territory, an area known as North Kosovo or Severna Kosovo, and that is the Serb majority part of Kosovo. A few years back, as a thought experiment to try and end the tensions, there was talk about a land swap between Serbia and Kosovo, and everything north of the Ibar here would have gone to Serbia, and then a piece of southwestern Serbia would have gone to Kosovo, where majority Kosovar Albanians still live to this day. I think it was poo-pooed pretty quickly because it would have opened Pandora's box for the rest of the Balkans and areas where different ethnicities live in opposing countries. But from what we're reading, this is actually the point that jurisdiction of the Kosovan state actually ends, and on the north side of the river and north of Kosovo is de facto controlled by the Serbian side still. Should we cross the bridge?
Again, it's a tiny bridge.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the other side of the river, and straight away here you can see a memorial written in the Serbian Cyrillic script. And what was until recently a Serbian flag next to it. Well, straight away there's a big difference in that the number plates have changed. There's a few number plates with RKS for Republic of Kosovo, but most of the number plates are Serbian number plates. Also the language, you suddenly see the Cyrillic script everywhere, whereas before obviously you saw Albanian, which is written in the Latin script. And for all intents and purposes, we've almost entered another country, you know, another place completely. Voila.
So bizarre as well, because on the other side everything is really pro-NATO, pro-American, and lots of graffitis and emblems everywhere. Same as on this side, just completely the opposite.
So on this side, the city is called Kosovo Mitrovica. So here says, I don't know what love is in Serbian, Kosovo Mitrovica. I love Kosovo Mitrovica. And really, this is, I knew it would be, such a bizarre situation. You know, we've moved between borders before, between land borders, especially between land borders from unrecognised countries. Recently we were in Cyprus and we moved between the north and south, but there's a passport control, right? You're moving between two passport zones, two effective customs areas. And yeah, we've done that in many different unrecognised countries, but here we just crossed a bridge, no passport, no anything. And it really does feel, for all intents and purposes, like we've moved between two completely different countries. The banks have changed, the phone companies have changed, and up until recently the currencies were also different. So on this side they used to use the Serbian dinar, and on the other side euro. Now that's now been stopped, so I think the euro is used everywhere. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, different country completely. Well, it's hungry work walking around Mitrovica, so we're going to head to a bakery, and the bakery's name is not Pristina, not Belgrade, Sarajevo. Sarajevo Bakery. Dobar dan.
Dobar dan.
S mesom?
Sa mesom.
Mesom. A sa špenatom sir?
Sir,
Sir?
sir spanać, samo spanać.
Ok, hvala.
Špinat.
Samo spanać.
Samo spanać.
Bez sir.
Bez sir.
Jedan,
Jedan sa špenatom? Sa sirom jedno.
jedan sa sirom, jedan sa spanać.
Da, da, da.
Kartica?
Ne, ne.
Evro?
Euro, 2 euro 45.
2 euro.
2 euro.
Hvala vam.
I 5, 15. Hvala puno.
A, izvinite, eže dinar? Da? Dinar?
Dinar.
Dinar, aha. Interesno. Hvala vam, doviđenja.
Doviđenja.
Thank you. You know, for Serbs, Kosovo is the cradle of their civilization. And despite being mainly populated by ethnic Albanians, for Serbs, losing Kosovo and the idea of losing Kosovo hurts so much because this is where Serbian civilization was born. Some of Serbia's most important churches and monasteries are located here in Kosovo. And that's why for so many Serbs, it's impossible to ever think of Kosovo not being part of Serbia. This is for them as much of an integral part of Serbia as Sussex is for the UK or California is for the US.
We were desperate for tinkle, so we popped into a little cafe and ordered a drink there. And actually the bill arrived in dinar. They would accept euros, however, the bill was in dinar. Also, I'll tell you, here in the Balkans, people love to smoke, and you can still smoke inside here. And I feel like after sitting there for 10 minutes, I am now a smoker again, just for inhaling the air in a cafe.
It's nuts, isn't it? I mean, I like this Balkan lifestyle that they
Sitting
just
in a
sit
cafe.
down all day, every day, little coffee, 4,000 cigarettes, chain smoke. What a life. The Balkans, you gotta love it.
Maybe I am Balkan.
Извините, а вы используете динар или евро?
Dinar i euro.
Динар и евро, да?
Dinar i euro.
А, окей, окей. Вы живете
Yeah.
здесь,
Yes.
в Mitrovica? Yes.
You?
А,
From?
Англия, Russia.
Yes.
Ah, Rus.
А вы серб? Серб?
Serb.
Серб.
Fine.
Okay,
Hola.
voila.
Добро.
We will go.
Добро.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Nie znamo.
You know what I find hard to get my head around? I can sort of understand how you can make out that people who live far from you are different, they're the other, and make a lot of stuff about them. But how does it happen with neighbors when you can literally go and see for yourself, have interaction? But it seems like nowadays it's easier to put neighbors against each other. It just doesn't make sense to me, because it's so easy to interact and to speak to each other and go and make up your own mind.
Right, and on that note, let's head back across the bridge. Do widzenia. Severno Mitrovica. And just like that, the Slavic voices of the Serbian side have disappeared, and you can hear Albanian everywhere. Just like that, cross a small river, everything's different.
Crossing back, this side looks a lot more modern than the other side. In contrast, the other side is way more run down. Coming to Mitrovica, I expected to feel some sort of tension, feel uncomfortable and almost on edge all the time, like anything can kick off and happen. But I didn't really. It just feels like a regular city, you know, people are just getting on with their lives, and a lot more people are crossing that bridge than we are told and read everywhere. There are obviously some tensions and problems between people. However, just like everywhere, people are just trying to get on with their life. Thanks for joining us on this journey and coming along with us. See you in the next one.